Supposed to be reading a story, but it was stupid, about a robin who got killed. Here lies Cock Robin, dead and cold. His end this book will soon unfold. It told about all these creatures who did things for the dead Cock Robin, the owl who buried him, and the bull who tolled the bell. But though it said how Cock Robin died, the sparrow shot him with an arrow, it never said why. Why would a sparrow shoot a robin? It made no sense. And there were no horses either. He'd flipped ahead through the pictures, so he knew that for sure. Lots of birds and a fish and a fly and a beetle. No horses. He'd much rather read a story about a horse running a race, but there were never any children's stories about that. Bored, he glanced out the window and saw his mother head for the stables with long, strong strides. Was she going to the picnic to tell father on Oliver? Gabe would love to see that. Oliver never got into trouble. Meanwhile, Gabe always did. That's why he was sitting in this stupid schoolroom with this stupid book instead of having fun at the picnic, because he'd done something bad and father had ordered him to stay home. But father might forgive him if he had Oliver to be mad at. If mother was going to the picnic, Gabe might even convince her to take him too. He glanced across the room. His tutor, Mr. Virgil, was dozing in the chair. Gabe could easily sneak out and ask mother, but only if he hurried. Keeping an eye on his tutor, he slipped off his chair and edged toward the door. As soon as he reached the hall, he broke into a run. He ran down the stairs, then half slid and half ran along the tiled hall at the bottom before vaulting out into the crimson courtyard. A quick dart across and he was in his favorite place in the whole world. The stable. He loved the sweaty smell of the horses, the crunch of hay underfoot in the loft, the way the grooms talked. The stable was a magical place, where people spoke in quiet, even voices. No yelling, because it bothered the horses. He looked around, then sighed. The stall holding Mother's favorite mare was empty. She was gone. But he didn't want to go back to the schoolroom and that stupid book about Cock Robin. "Good day, young master," said the head groom, Benny May, who was shoeing a horse. He used to be a jockey for Gabe's grandfather back when the Sharpes put lots of horses in races. "Looking for someone?" Gabe wasn't about to admit he wanted mother. Instead, he puffed out his chest and tucked his thumbs in the waistband of his breeches like the grooms did. "Just wondering if you need help. Looks like the grooms are gone off." "Aye, to the picnic. I imagine a lot of folks will be tramping in and out this afternoon. The fine ladies and gentlemen will tire of the outdoors before long." Benny kept his gaze on the horse's foot. "Why aren't you at the picnic?" "Father wouldn't let me go on account of my putting a spider in Minerva's hair and refusing to apologize." Benny made a choking sound that turned into a cough. "So he said you could come to the stables instead?" Gabe stared down at his shoes. "Ah, gave Mr. Virgil a slip again, did you?" "Sort of," he mumbled. "You ought to be nicer to your sister, you know. She's a sweet girl." Gabe snorted. "She tattles. Anyway, I came to check on Jackie boy." That was Gabe's pony. Father had given it to him on his birthday last summer. "He gets cranky sometimes." Benny's hard stare softened into a smile. "Aye, that he does, lad. And he always settles right down for you, don't he?" Trying not to show his pride at the compliment, Gabe shrugged. "I know how to curry him the way he likes. Does he, need grooming?" "Well, now it's funny you should ask, because I do believe he could use a little care." He jerked his head toward the tack room. "You know where we keep the combs." Gabe sauntered off to the tack room. He quickly found what he needed, then let himself into the stall. Jackie boy sniffed him, hoping for a lump of sugar. "Sorry, old chum," Gabe murmured. "Came out here in a hurry. I didn't bring you anything." He began to curry the pony, and Jackie boy relaxed. There was nothing better in the whole world than grooming Jackie boy.